March of this year, we had a 100th anniversary celebration for the American Legion. The one that we're having this weekend is for the Post. The Post was chartered on December the 13th, 1919.
By the end of 1919, we still had many veterans that remained in Paris, either for work on the rebuilding of Europe, because they fell in love, because they fell in love with Paris. Many reasons we don't necessarily know, but there was a lot of work that needed to be done here.
This is Paris Post 1, so we are the beginning, and thanks to the men who fought in World War I, the Americans who fought in World War I, we have an organization that began here and spread around the United States.
In the 1930s, our group got together, decided to create an American monument to the men and women who have fought and served. Pershing Hall was created, and that was the home of our post, even through World War II, when we had to essentially lock it down when the Nazis came through to protect it. But when the war was over, Paris Post 1 came back. They were active again, very active, at Pershing Hall up until the 1990s. If you read some of the earliest articles about Pershing Hall, it was known as the Embassy of the United States in Paris, because at the time the Embassy for the United States was more just administrative offices.
Pershing Hall was a treasure for us, and it was an ideal place for just going to meet people. And it was an ideal place for the meetings, because the meetings were, we all welcomed the meetings there. It was warm, and it was just wonderful.
George Aubrey was a World War I veteran, a past post commander who was in the French underground. He was injured and he was wounded in World War I, and he was discharged here in France, and he married a French woman. He was not only post commander of Paris Post 1, but he was also, for a while, department commander of the Department of France. He was still here after the Germans had invaded France again, and he ended up leaving, taking his family down near Vichy. And he was then in charge of a Maquis cell there. They for a while liberated one city down there. And then finally what happened to him in July of 1944 was he was with his cell of underground people there, and they were driving through the countryside, and he came up on a German military unit, and they were killed. They were all shot.
The French government, they were very, very wonderful to give us a place when Pershing Hall was going through its renovation. But now we need Pershing Hall because we need the space. We need an area where people can come and talk to one another, ask questions about the American Legion, and feel like a Legionnaire before they even become a Legionnaire.
Pershing Hall will always be the home of Paris Post 1. It's got a bit of a dramatic history. It's something that maybe we'll make a movie out of one day. But right now, our focus is to bring the American community together, and to do that as Paris Post 1 always has, and that is being the leader with veterans at the front.